What's up, everybody? This is Unstoppable Hush in another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. I'm at episode 171. What's going on? How's everybody doing? I want to start it off by, I'm going to come back to it too. Happy Father's Day. You know, it's a shout out for whoever deserves it. You feel what I'm saying? Not the whole, oh, to all fathers, to all whoever. Happy Father's Day to those that deserve it. And that's broad scale all over the world. I'm gonna come back on that. Congrats to the Golden State Warriors. They are NBA champions for the 2021-2022 season. Am I shocked? Maybe just a little bit. Not with them winning it entirely. Just 6 games. I wanted 7. I was going off a lot of statistical shit that don't really matter when you get to that stage because things like Boston not losing 2 in a row. They lost 3 in a row, I believe. No, 2 in a row. Right, because it was 2-2. Yeah, it was 2. Get your facts. It was 2-2 when they left Boston to go back to Golden State. So that was a game Golden State won. So it was 2-1 Boston. They tied at 2-2. They went to Golden State and made it 3-2. Then came back to Boston and made it 4-2. So that's 3 games in a row, which they haven't lost in the whole playoffs. So I was going off of that. I kind of started feeling like Golden State was going to get it when you got around the 5th game, when I seen the momentum in the 5th. But I still thought going back to Boston might have been able to scramble a little bit and force a game 7. I might have still had Golden State winning game 7, but clearly I was off. But nonetheless, congrats to Golden State Warriors. Congrats to Steph Curry for the MVP. Well deserved, well deserved. I felt like other players should get recognition, which they did. I feel like Wiggins was a strong part of that. Jordan Poole's energy for sure, and all the supporting cast. So anyway, congrats to them, and I guess till next season we'll see what's up. Also, congrats to Boston for that's a hell of a season. That's a hell of a fight. You know, I'm sure you didn't really have them in the finals. I don't think nobody selected that at the beginning of the season for Boston to be in the finals. You might have said Golden State. You might have had a couple other choices in there. But Golden State is not a huge surprise. Boston is good money. So shout out to both teams, no doubt. Baseball. There's nothing I can really say. The same things are going on. Yankees are still showing that it's not a fluke. They're not just okay in May, June. They've been good, pretty solid the entire season thus far. I know it's not even halfway, or it might just be almost halfway right now. 50 odd games they played or whatever. It's 100 and something. So congrats to them too. Hats off. Mets too. If you got the ESPN app, which if you're in the sports like me, I would suggest you download it. It's free. You can listen in on some games. If you have your cable provider information, you can actually watch live games. To go on there and go to the baseball option, to go to overall, and to see that both New York teams is the first and second best record in all of baseball is just something I love to rub in at being a New Yorkian, Brooklyn native. But that's dope. So that's it for that. Drake drops a surprise album. Honestly, never mind. That's really the title. As much as I love Drake, I have to listen some more. There are some standout joints I did like. I believe Overdrive, Sticky, um, and there's another one. But I gotta be honest, I feel like the entire album was like made for dance party, which most of his joints are. But I feel like this entire thing is that. Like I don't really hear one that like stands out like in Certified Lover Boy. Certified Lover Boy had those as well, but they had the joints like, you you only live twice, remorse, Those are tracks more for me that I like. So I was looking for those type of tracks here and I couldn't find them. But I'm gonna go back and re-listen. But anyway, Drake, honestly, never mind. You know the name, he's still gonna do the numbers that he do most likely anyway. It's already probably crazy. And that's that. Back to the Father's Day thing before I get into my real shit. Um, where we at? Anybody jumped in here? Not really. Cool. Father's Day. I was talking with some folks not too long ago, and here's the debate. I won't call it argument. Here's the debate. This is like an ongoing type of subject that you can talk till your face turns blue. Example, Mother's Day, you book reservations or try to go anywhere special. You have to, again, book reservations. There's places that's packed. The waiting time is crazy, or you may not even get in there. Mother's Day. Father's Day. Shit wide open. Shit wide open. You can walk in anywhere. You ain't got to reserve. You really ain't got to reserve. I don't know, unless you're doing some real extravagant shit. The good question I would like to know, I never traveled on either holiday. Well, not holiday, either recognition day. So, like, if I was away for Mother's Day, how are the flights? That part I don't know. I gotta research that. The flights to Mother's Day versus flights Father's Day. It's crazy. But again, it is what it is. I don't want to really spend too much time here. We know what we do. Men as a whole is held to some type of standard where, be tough, be strong, hold it down, never show weakness or any emotions, not on a worldly type, or, not to the masses, not to the world, not for everyone to see, so you see a household, if it has a man in there, strong, independent, tough, these are the characteristics and these are the things that are expected and that is counted on for each male. So we can't really get into our feelings publicly, any type of emotion really when it comes to any type of subject, especially one like this. So we just got to keep on keeping on and just doing what's expected of us. It sounds like, damn, fight for your rights. No, fight for some damn recognition, fight for some, just to have a voice, just to be able to say anything, which in today's society, it's very sensitive. So when you do, everything has a backlash to it. But I feel like, guys, all I can say is try to enjoy every day. And in this example, just kind of do what you want to do. I mean, you got to still handle responsibilities on a daily basis, but do things you want to do, because at the end of the day, it's self preservation. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you can do for yourself and what you do to keep you sane, to keep you happy, is the things you have to always rely on, because that's what's going to keep you tight. Because waiting or expecting, and it's not even to point blame or criticize whoever is around you that you would expect to get recognition from. It's not so much that, because I don't really think it matters who you around and you know what I mean? You're gonna get the texts, you're gonna get the shout outs, you're gonna get the notifications of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of really it. So don't really expect a personal shout out, like a personal somebody come, cause if it happens, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to make it sound like there's no chance of that, but you really can't. If you set your mindset a certain way, and just are able to deal, able to just like take in, release in any other way you can really withstand anything. So again, back to your responsibilities, back to what you're supposed to be doing on a daily basis, and just try to have time for yourself, make fun for yourself, things that'll keep you whole, you know, because again, what's expected of us surpasses anything else that we have emotionally or, wants or needs. You know what I'm saying? You get the basics. You got to eat to survive. You work. It's quite simple. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because the twisted shit about it is I don't really think as a whole we have a lot of wants, demands, or needs or expectations. I think it's quite simple with us. I'm piggybacking off again other podcasts I tune into. I'm a shout out Fresh and Fit again. But it's crazy because you would think, but you can't logically make sense of this stuff because the whole world doesn't exist off logic. Um, the little bit we want, we should get. You know what I'm saying? Should is all I can really say. You can go out there, demand it. You can be a certain way that kind of turns the majority off because you just won't stand for certain shit and you're like, this is what I want, this is how I want to be treated, this is how I'm moving, and if you don't like it, kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big supporter of that if that's the route you want to go, and so be it. But some, we break it down as we're just knowledgeable about it. You know what I'm saying? Like we know that we're not getting certain praises and certain shout outs and we're able to live because we ourselves can just be our own supporter, be our own, go do your thing. That's what's up right there. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself your little accolades and all of that. So it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. um to really go more into that is like, yeah, what's important to you? What do you like to do? How do you like things to go? And can you control these things? Well, anything's possible. I feel like you can control whatever you set your mind to. You have to have a certain ambition, certain energy, and you got to be out there doing things. You can't just be sitting around and expecting anything to happen. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm talking to the guys. You can't follow what maybe other people are able to do to get by, to get over. And when I say people, I really mean women. But this is not to bash them for that because I'm not even talking to them today on, like, as far as addressing them with however they move and how whatever's important to them. I might do one for them, but I really do need a guest. Shout out Fitted for a King. I need a guest to really break certain shit down and speak on things that I really want to dig deep for. But me by my dolly, I get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a commitment and I love it. So anyway, for example, things that's important, right? So for me, this is very therapeutic and important for me, in my daily day to day to, just be able to speak and, kind of get shit off my chest. I don't really be going on no rants or raves because I've accepted life for what it is until I can make things better. If I'm not pleased with what's currently going on, I know I'm striving for a better tomorrow every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. This is really useful. I may have to admit that this may be more useful to me than to you, whoever listens, whoever views. You feel what I'm saying? Hopefully, it's a two-way street, was my goal, that I get things out of doing this and you get things out of listening. Um, but back to what's important. I can't really tell you. You have to dig deep in yourself and say, what are things that keep me sane, that keep me whole, that makes me happy if I had to survive on some I Am Legend shit? Let's not get so dramatic like there'll be creatures coming for you like in the movie, but I'm just saying, like, if you had to maneuver and really function as if you're Dolly, what can you do? What would you do? What are things that'll get you by? It's not just a normal question. You know what I'm saying? Work is work. You gotta work. That takes time away from just sitting there dwelling on shit or letting things get to you. You know what I mean? I mean, even work is tricky because that, the work environment can actually aggravate shit more. If you already have a mindset of things not particularly going the way you would like, I wouldn't call work all the way a solution. I mean, for what you earn, definitely, but not like the atmosphere. You feel me? So that is tricky. But on the other hand of things, you need to still use resources that's possible to get this going. So gym, fitness, easier said than done. I mean, even for the folks that really can't afford a membership. And I mean to bash like that because a membership ain't too crazy in price. But I'm just saying, just like, if you really got goals and you really budgeting, are you budgeting things to try to get a certain way in life financially, you may look at the gym as like not really a part of that mission. So for that, no judgment here. You go, you do a little workout in the house. Maybe you could acquire some little bit of equipment to kind of get it off in the crib. But if you can go to the gym and you have a membership, I feel like that's a better environment than work to release, get shit off your chest, be strong, shit like that. I feel like that's a way to get over. It's easy to say socially, lounges, XYZ, any kind of event space. You're spending money though. So I don't know what your goal is. If you have a financial goal, those are not favorable. None of my choices except work really is favorable for anybody who has a financial goal set and are really trying to minimize spending. So again, working out in the house, you still have to acquire some type of equipment. This is nice weather. We're in the summertime vibes pretty much of the season. So outdoor things are more accessible. So you can go outdoors and, I don't know, the park is really all I have for you is the park, really, for guys. I don't know what else you like to do. That's why this is a segment for you to just kind of like take what I'm saying, but you can stretch it because you can use whatever you really personally have or think and put it into play. That's the whole point of this. So try to really keep that energy and momentum going as you go through shit. And again, all of this stems from the fact of me saying how I started, for example, Father's Day, the recognition that comes or don't, the appreciation that comes or don't. I'm trying to keep your mind busy and you active to know that, listen, I'm proud of me. I can face myself in the mirror or the camera, you know what I mean? And just be proud of what I've accomplished and know that it's not over yet. And I'm out to accomplish more, definitely. And I'm going to get there. You know what I'm saying? And these are the type of talks you can have for yourself mentally, just in your mind, because people talk to themselves out loud. I think I'm a victim. I think I'm guilty of that. I'm kind of talking to myself right now. you seeing it, and it's for a purpose. It's coming out, but I'm kind of talking to myself right now. And I love it because you know what? It shows that your mind works. You're thinking. You're trying to figure shit out in this thing called life. You know what I mean? It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy for anyone. But we as men gotta be tougher. I can't stress that enough because it's expected for us to just be able to handle shit. You feel me? It's a big responsibility. So I tell all the young now, for my young men under 21, over 12 and up, pay attention early because you can get a jump start on shit. Because I regret when I was 12 or whatever age when I said, I can't wait to grow up. I can't wait to be on my own. You really not ready for that smoke, my young guys. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have to adjust. However you were raised, who raised you, you probably can prepare successfully for it. But it's still gonna be curveballs. It's still gonna be shit that you ain't gonna be on top of all the time. It's some shit that's gonna go left. I give an example, and I don't really get too personal, but it's how much I'm trying to tap into the younger crowd too. This is not like a normal scenario. It's not something that's I hope happens, but I was driving um quite a distance, and the exit I needed, to me, maybe because it was at night, I don't have the best vision. I wear glasses. Stigmatism, I feel, is in both eyes, I believe. Um, so the exit I needed, it looked like they were doing work and there was cones set up. But I don't know if y'all familiar with highways and roadways. Sometimes it's set up, but you still can exit. Like, you know how there's an exit lane? So, I don't know, it's a fourth of a mile long, maybe. So, when they're doing construction or something, sometimes that fourth of a mile is broken down to maybe 50 feet, where they just cut it off right where you could just exit and be on your way, right? Some. So I was hoping, considering the time of night it was, the length of the drive, that I can exit after, like the stuff is set up and then boom, they're gonna have like a break in it where you could just go off. That wasn't the case, right? So by the time I realized that that wasn't the case, I kind of was debatable in between the cones and the regular roadway. But it was me really trying to peep the scenery to see if there was a chance, or do I have to go to the following exit. Now, officers approach me. Wow. I get it. They're protecting this spot. They're watching over it. I don't know if every construction site or every work that they perform, they keep an officer there. I think mostly they do, yes. So anyway, he approaches me and says, license and registration. Mind you, if we had a conversation, all I would have said is the same thing I just told you guys. But he was stern. I don't know if he's new or he has some, he don't get off much to prove his stripes. So he might have needed to get one to look good, So it was a very long search of my information. And us as black men, and of course these were cops of the Caucasian type. So we not too good with, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the stories with police. I didn't really feel like that because I knew that I was good money as far as worrying about, God forbid, anything happening crazy. So, yes, I'm definitely exploiting the story way more than I wanted to, but we in here now. Yeah, it took so long. I didn't understand if he was looking up from my birth. I'm not a young man like that. So finally comes this long paper. I'm used to tickets looking rectangular. This is like a whole like scroll. And he's telling me, yeah, this is what it is. This is what you got to do, court and all of that. And I'm like, wow. I didn't get a statement. I didn't get a word out. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have simply said, all I was doing was going to ask you to confirm that there's no break in this work zone to exit, and if the next exit is open and that's what I got to do, I understand you probably got to figure that out for yourself without interrupting the officers, but I thought it's courtesy, professionalism, respect, and if you needed something or you have a question, it's fine. Now maybe how I pulled ain't like what they wanted me to do, but I couldn't put hazards on and just stop on a regular roadway, considering the roadway is already limited lanes because of the fact that y'all got it cut off. So where else would I have stopped if I needed assistance? I'm just saying. So I was a little irate. I ain't gonna lie to you. So when he gave me it, and he tried to explain, I try to get my shit off. Like, listen, I know it. I know. But where else would I have stopped if I had to ask something or to verify that this exit is completely closed? So now it's like challenging authority. Step out of the car. I'm serious. I'm not making this up. Step out of the car. Now this raises a little suspicion for me. I go back to the black thing. Sorry. It's not a racist type of podcast. I normally don't have anything bad to say unless it's a said individual who does some shit. I don't give a fuck if they're orange. Anyway, he makes me get up. He's saying that I'm not understanding what he's saying, and I'm saying he's not understanding what I'm saying. So now it's just two men, testosterone, going back and forth about some dumb shit when simply you just had to hear what I said and you would have been good money. You feel what I'm saying? But he refuses to understand or give me an ear to try to explain. So what's the assumption after that? Have you been drinking? I don't want to get, that's real controversial, and this probably will get a lot of views just for this section of this pod. I don't give a fuck about that stuff. You feel me? Like, I know that I'm a person that's responsible, and if I did drink anything, I'm not going behind the wheel in the next, whatever time frame you want to judge that a person who has a drink shouldn't go behind the wheel. Now, have I done that in the past as a younger man? Absolutely. Is that smart? No. It's actually really stupid. But that's not the situation here. And I really feel that's irrelevant because I just told you I had a long drive. So, I mean, I know if I had 8 shots of hard liquor, that 2 hours or 3 hours is not enough to say that you're completely sober. A cocktail drink, mixed drink, 1. I don't know if 2-3 hours is enough to say you're good. A beer. I might want to lean and vouch that I feel like you can have a beer and 2-3 hours later you're good. I want to say that, but everybody's body is different. Their tolerance is different. There's a whole bunch of scientific shit behind it. Right or wrong, whatever, however you judge that. I'm not encouraging drinking and driving. I'm not putting a time frame on how long you should wait if you did. I'm getting off subject here because that's what he's doing, deflecting, saying, did you have any? What does that have to do with me voicing my opinion, saying you gave me no second, you gave me no syllable to even speak before you just went in? You just went in. So here go the intimidation factor. Would you submit to a breathalyzer? This is not admissible in court. Yo, this is really going on, kid. Yo, this is crazy. Absolutely. What I say? Absolutely. Now, we're going to leave that there because I ain't going to get into... Obviously, I'm good because I'm here telling the story. But at the end of the day, I never really got my shit off, and I felt a way about that. Because, again, I'm showing a man trait. There's certain things you have to accept in life. Certain things it just is what it is. But sometimes you can speak up. And I felt like because I exercised that right, maybe that was intimidating for this officer. And no harm to him, no foul. You know, I'm one of a dozen, millions, hundreds. I don't know his interaction with people on a daily, but I would assume an officer interacts daily. And all I was trying to show an example that I can speak up if I feel like I have right to do so. Now, if you want to say it's not safe and it's a work zone and you shouldn't be in there, cool. I didn't dispute that. I'm just saying, what was the alternative if I had to pull over for any real emergency? Let's say a tire. Let's just say I really had to use the bathroom. Whatever scenario you can draw up, where do you stop then? Because if the regular road is normally 3 lanes or 4, and now you've busted down to 2 with no shoulder because the shoulder's on the right in this situation. So where do you go for an emergency? That's all I want to know. I didn't have a real emergency, but I had something to ask. I had something to say. You know what I mean? And I felt like that's the country and the world we live in, that you're going to run into that a lot more than understanding and acceptance and open minds is what I'm saying. Now, if I was a female and I did the same thing, how do you think that scenario might have played out? Or if I was the same race, how do you think it would have played out? I'm leaving that for you to comment on. I'm not even saying nothing on it. So that's it. Leave in the comments. If it was a woman, if you want to use color of the woman, you can. How would that have played out? If it was a white male or female, how do you think that would have played out? And that's all I got on that. But I just thought that was crazy because, again, I live a certain life where ain't nothing. I'm not wilding out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had those phases and stages. Some have, some don't. Some just never was exposed to that or know anything that I'm talking about right now. But I know where I'm at in life. And that was crazy for me. And I wasn't even going to mention it, and it took over, basically, because really the topic here is what's important to you. So in that story, the only thing I can say is if you feel the need to speak up, Use discretion, of course, but I would advise it because certain things you have, like, the more confident you are, the more ambitious you are, and you know what you're doing and what you're not, what you're capable of, and any goals you have set. I feel like that automatically gives you certain rights to speak on, to voice. That's just my opinion. It may not be a world decision, but that's my opinion, or world opinion, should I say, not world decision. So that was crazy for me. Going back to what's important to you, though. What are things that keep you positive? What are things that keep you energetic? Is it certain shows on TV? Maybe even podcasts. Convenience. Everything is accessible to you though. Don't feel like there's something limited. There's a way around everything. So if you have a device that you can make calls and it's a smartphone, you can use that to watch or listen to anything that might soothe or relax you or keep you intrigued. You don't have to have cable, you don't have to have a 60-inch to get entertainment. So that might be one. Is entertainment a way to keep you sane, to keep you going? I like entertainment. That's a good one. There's certain shows I watch and even podcasts that I watch, Um, so that is definitely one approach. I already said other things like the park, gym, work. It's a tough time with that one. Unless you're really doing something you love. I'm sorry, I left that out. There are some people actually working or have careers that's their dream, and that's dope. That's where they can really release them because you're somewhere you enjoy. You know, Other things that we do on the side that may not generate income. If you have it's supposed to, right? If you have clothing, if you have a product, fragrance, lotion, oils, if you do music, if you're a photographer, if you a director, anything pro bono, but you still have a regular job. I mean, those are things and avenues to vent, to release, to get away from whatever realities you really are facing and have to endure. Because again, I can't stress enough, men have to just take the shit a lot. You know what I mean? And that is how you get socially acceptance, if you even care to get that, because you're supposed to be able to eat that. Nobody allegedly by the masses wants to hear a complaining man, a grumpy man, a whining man. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be able to. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because there's some shit where you might have to let out some steam and whine and complain for a sec because you're human. That part is never really applied to us because, again, of the expectations as if we're not human when we are. So we have emotion, we have feelings. You know what I'm saying? That you're supposed to control it is what everyone would say, though. You're supposed to have that locked. You know what I'm saying? Don't show no emotions, or very little at the least. But there's situations where you can't help it. If somebody passes, God forbid, if you go through any real surgery. If I lose $100, God forbid, you gonna see some emotion for a second. I ain't even gonna hold you. You feel me? Just little shit like that. I know more uncontrollable. That's uncontrollable though. The thing is, the debate is what's controllable and what's uncontrollable. If you spent, let me, for you FanDuel guys that bet on sports and games and boxing and shit. If you bet bread and you lose money, that was a controllable action. So yeah, you're gonna feel a way, but you put yourself there. You feel me? A God forbid car accident is not controllable sometimes. Some things that gets dicey. Hit back to if you drink and drive, or if you're on your phone texting. Though it gets dicey. So it becomes that's controllable. But then if you have the simple innocent bystander that's really just driving, not on the phone, not intoxicated, and gets hit, that's uncontrollable. So I feel for men, if it's a controllable action, you shouldn't show any emotion. You really should be tough. This is when I get on you and say, man, the fuck up. You were in control of that. The uncontrollable shit, the only example I gave was the car accident. I don't know what else. I can dig deeper. I don't want to really, go that crazy with it. Shit like child support. um, you know, but you got common sense for the most part. I'm gonna give credit to all listeners and viewers that you can put together two and two is four. So whatever's uncontrollable, and that doesn't give you the green light to really show a lot of emotion or get too crazy with it, but you can have a moment. You may need it. You may need it, especially if stuff happens back to back. But I'll be a harsh judge or a harsh critic and say, even if controllable things happen back to back to back, you still were in control. So I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Man up and make better decisions. Easier said than done. We all done it. I ain't sitting here acting perfect like I ain't do it. And I might have done it way too much. And I'm still good though, because I don't really sweat shit no more. You feel me? Like, it is what it is. I get up, I do what I gotta do, I go to sleep, I get up the next day and repeat. Copy paste. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get to a better day each day. But I ain't tripping over shit that I knew I could control and it still affected me. I gotta eat that. I gotta eat that. The uncontrollable shit, I'm kind of, tooting my own horn here. The uncontrollable shit, I don't really stress neither. It might be a sec. It might be a sec. I ain't gonna say, hey, there ain't nothing that could happen, because the powers that be could really challenge your wordplay. You could talk like you big shot, and then when shit really pop off, we see how much of a big shot you really is and how much you really think you can take. So I'm not challenging the powers that be. I am human. That God forbid something can happen to get a reaction out of me. I ain't gonna lie to you. But for the most part, I stay with a firm, strong mind that whatever happens, it is what it is. How do I go around it? How do I get better from it? How do we just shake that shit off? You feel me? So I'm open minded to that, and that's where I shine, and that's where I feel strong at. And I'm cool with that. And I give this knowledge to you for you to feel the same way. Fellas, I want you to feel the same way. Shit you can't control, shit happens. Shit you can control, dust that shit off and stop fucking playing with me. Excuse my French, but sometimes I gotta talk a little harsh for you to get it. It is all right, man. It's all right. You gotta fall down, get up. Yo, there's this bar. When the next LP drops, I fell. I don't know if it's gonna be on it. I fell, got up, and then I made it. If that makes sense. So shit gonna happen. It's okay. Don't trip. You know what I'm saying? So, bottom line is, what's important to you, how you get your rocks off, what calms you, what relaxes you. Try to dig deep to find these things about you. It's an individual thing. Guys, they'll generalize us and say we all like sports. Yeah, but I'm talking about finding other things, not just the general basic shit. Find what makes you unique, to know that this is you. This is something that you like to do. This is something that brings you comfort, and just go from there. And you should be all right. All right. So till the next time, I'll holla. Y'all stay safe. And even though it's after, happy Father's Day still to the ones that deserve it. I'll holla.